What's up, everybody? This is Aero Blight, bringing you something brand new to the channel. I want to talk for a minute about D2R. So, real briefly, my history with Diablo 2 is that it came out around 2000, I think. I was in high school, and I played this game, well, that game, for like at least 5-6 years straight. I shit you not, me and a couple of my homeboys skipped out on going to the prom so that we could go home and play Diablo 2. We went home and did Mephisto runs all day. And all night, rather. But anyways, so I have quite some history with the game. With D2R soon to release, I believe it drops next month on the 23rd. I'm sure some of you guys have never played this game, don't know where to start, where to begin, and I'm sure some of you guys who used to play it are, still undecided on what your first character should be. So what I plan on doing with this video is briefly go over each character and how, just basically give my opinion and some insight on each character with their strengths and weaknesses, and hopefully that can help you make a decision for your first character, because once this game drops, you're gonna want to get, a good first character, build it up, and let that be your guy that basically goes around killing everything to get you some currency flowing in. I don't know what kind of currency we're gonna use in D2R, whether it be the old SOJs or we're gonna use runes again. I guess we'll see. But yeah, let's get started. We'll go left to right. The Amazon. The Amazon was actually my first character. I went with the bow, my first ever character, and well, I mean, she was amazing in the beginning. Like as a bow character, I had poison charms. I think they were like 290 small charms, and man, I used to run fucking cow level all day long. I had the reinforce multi-shot going off. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then I call it the synergy patch came out and fucked my world up. And she had to be replaced because I just went from easily one-shotting just about everything to I guess I've run away now. So the boson wasn't really that good after that, or not its former glory. Okay, let me specify, because it's still good. With that said, the javelin Amazon is and was probably the best boss killer in the game. I don't think there's a single character that can kill a freaking boss quicker than this chick can. And with that said, I mean, when I say my friend, I never played javelin. I stuck to the bow the whole time. But my friend who had one, I swear to God, he was one-shotting. If not one shot, it was a two-shot on like hell bell, and so that is saying something. Once you get to hell and you see how tough it is, you'll know just how strong that is, because that is fucking ridiculous. So she can be a very strong character. Problem is, she needs the gear to do it, and so I don't think she's the best option for someone just starting out, unless you just have that drive to where you go say like, I want the best boss killer. I'm gonna level it up. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna endure the pain, and yeah, I'll gear her up as I can. If that's your train of thought, then that may be the option for you. But I just wouldn't recommend her starting out. Now, unfortunately, I can't click on the assassin here because the assassin and necromancer isn't playable right now. But the assassin is one of those characters that just wasn't the best at anything, but definitely wasn't bad at it either. So she can go melee or elemental. She goes elemental through traps, and for me, it just wasn't a fun playstyle, so I don't have a whole lot of time on her because like I said, for me, it wasn't a fun playstyle. But she has this one passive in the game that, man, I love her for it. As you run around, you'll find locked chests on the ground, and you can pick up keys if you want to carry keys in your inventory. She simply doesn't need it. She's an assassin. She can just pick the lock apparently, and that makes her like super fucking awesome. So starting out, an assassin would be a great character if you don't mind running traps, because traps was pretty fucking strong. Just like I said, I didn't enjoy it. Uh, but yeah, you'd want to go with your lightning trap setup. I don't think I ever even played the melee version. I think I tried it, but like you had like man, you had to like do like a combo type play style. And for Diablo, that was just complicating something that was just unnecessary complication. It wasn't really complicated, let me just be clear. You know, it's pretty straightforward, but when you got like, for instance, the Amazon who just throws out lightning spears, or you know, the sorceress that just does chain lightning, blah blah blah, you know, it just, why? Why would I want to have to use multiple skills to do the exact same thing that everybody else is doing off a one-click button? That's just my thought process. But she is a very fun class from what my friends tell me. They all loved her. The traps is definitely overpowered from a sense that you could throw them down and just run away. You never have to bother with it. I mean, she can get like 4 lightning traps up at one time if I remember correctly, and I don't think there's anything in the game other than like the bosses that you'd have to worry about it with past that. Um, so she is a good starter if you enjoy the trap play style. If you're like me and don't really quite enjoy it, you might want to consider something else. Okay, and again, I can't click on the Necromancer because he's not playable, but this guy is another one that I'm not going to recommend, simply because a lot of people don't quite understand how to play the Necromancer, and it's unfortunate because the Necromancer is again a very strong character, but he's more for like CCing the mobs. He's meant to be more of a okay, so like his kit is so fucking crazy, right? Like he has so much utility when it comes in the form of CCs. Amp, like if you decide to run Necromancer, group up with me, because you're just going, you don't have to do nothing. If you just put amp on them for me, I will carry you all the way to hell, and then some. I'll get you to level 90 my damn self, because he's a real strong support character, but also a strong solo character. But again, you may find yourself having trouble if you don't quite understand that he's not a tank, man. He's not going to be just a standalone sorceress that just, you know, throws out a bone spear and kills everything on the screen. It's not going to work that way. Now, bone spear is a very strong ability, and it's the only one that ever gave me any trouble in PvP. We'll get to that in a minute, but again, he's easily one of the strongest classes out here. But at the same time, if you're unfamiliar with the CC playstyle, then you're probably gonna struggle with them at first. But now, if that's something that you can wrap your mind around by using Bone Wall and just like I said, a number of debuffs, then yeah, he's one of the strongest classes you can possibly play. But again, I won't recommend them for new players. Anybody that's returning and is familiar with the Necromancer, he could be a very, very good starter. Now the Barbarian, the iconic Barbarian. Oh man, he was my original choice for my first character going back into D2R, and simply for Whirlwind. I think Whirlwind is, in my opinion, and I'm not looking at spreadsheet data, I'm not looking at the numbers, I'm just going off of what I can remember. Whirlwind was probably the second strongest melee build in the game, and well, it pretty much worked with just about any setup that you can think of. So obviously starting out, you're gonna pretty much have as little gear as possible and just what you can find, and it was definitely, you know, doable. You know, you can go right now in a single player on D2, level up your character. Unfortunately, Whirlwind is like level 30, I think. That's the only bad thing about it. But once you hit, like, you get your points into Whirlwind, you got a little bit of gear. Whirlwind just pretty much just wrecks them. And I mean, it's a fun build to run. You also can run like Frenzy or like Berserker. I don't know how strong they are in comparison. I do know they are outclassed by the Whirlwind, if I remember correctly. But those are the playstyles, and again, if you run a Barbarian, it is a very strong choice for a starter, because you do get 3 opportunities to pretty much respec your character. Now, for those of you who have never played this game, you're coming from maybe PoE, you only get 3. It's not something you use currency on to respec your character. You get 3 respecs, and if you fucked up that 3rd time, you're just gonna have to come back to this screen and start again. Okay. Now, I don't know if they'll actually do something new for D2R, but in D2, that's the way it was. If you fucked up 3 times, man, 3 strikes, you're out. So, but for a Barbarian, I would definitely utilize the fact that I can respec. So, for my first playthrough, I would put points into like Iron Skin and Natural Resistances, just to make life easier. Okay, I would definitely throw points into it, and that, like I said, beginner friendly, yes, absolutely, and very strong even with not so good gear. And I mean, again, my opinion is he has the second strongest melee setup in the game. So as you build your character up, he just obviously gets stronger and stronger, and yeah, the Barbarian is a great choice for a new player. Paladin. Now me and this little fucker has history, okay? We have a lot of history. So that synergy patch that I was talking about that fucked over my Amazon, I had pre-built what is called a Hammerden because of the patch notes. So I had like a level 74, 76, I can't remember, but it was either 74 or 76 Hammerden just waiting on the patch. And when that patch dropped, oh man, it broke my heart. Like my baby over here, she was decked out. I mean, I had all the best shit, man. Like, you know, at the time, anyways. And it was just like she went from being so godly to fuck me, you know. And I was having issues in hell. Now, obviously, Nightmare was still a breeze, but we don't play this game to play in Nightmare mode. You know, like this dude over here is fucking whatever I found on the ground as I was leveling, and he was killing shit in hell like it wasn't nothing. So the moral of the story is when they patched that did the synergy patch, he kind of became the strongest character in the game. After that, I took him seriously. I geared him up, and I think I played hammered in for the remaining of my D2 life cycle. And I always somehow end up going back to the Hammerden. I can start playing a Whirlwind Barbarian. After so long, I go back to my Hammerden. I can start playing Lightning Sword. Go back to my Hammerden. Fire Sword. Go back to my Hammerden. I think you get the picture. Um, his kit is also ridiculously good for new players. Just like the Barbarian, he can max block easily, like shoot through his holy shield, which is very good. He also has a number of auras, and so that's something to take advantage of again for a new player, knowing that you have the ability to respect. But again, it would only be if I did it, it would only be to start things off for my first playthrough. But again, that's knowing how to do that. But I highly recommend the Paladin. He's got more than just he's more than just a Hammerden. He can also run a zeal, which is, in my opinion, again, it's not looking at no spreadsheet data. It's from what I can remember playing and seeing with my eyes, what seems to be the fastest. He has, in my opinion, the best melee damage in the game, and that's running a zeal, and it's pretty much just a left-click play style. So if you want a melee build that is literally zero thought process, again, Whirlwind and Zealot is the way to go. Zealot being the stronger of the two, but Whirlwind being the funner, I think. I think Whirlwind is a bit more fun. Zealot is just face roll. It's like, yeah, I'll fuck your world up in 2 seconds flat, buddy. So I highly recommend starting out as a Paladin. The Sorceress, man, the Sorceress, oh my god. I've played every type of playstyle there is with the Sorceress except for a melee variant, okay? And I bring that up because it was recently brought up in discussion that she can be some of the highest melee damage in the game. Look, I'm not going to speak on that because I never even heard of that. When I was playing Diablo, if you built your sorceress around what you was going to do, basically. If you wanted to do Endorial runs all day, most of them went Fireball, okay? If you wanted to do like Mephisto runs, then you'd go like Blizzard. Okay, so she has Fire, Lightning, and Ice, okay? Those are her 3 skill trees. Everybody has 3 trees, alright? So her 3 is the Fire, Lightning, and Ice. And basically, the thing about her is if you specialize in one, you do a shit ton of damage with that element. And there's no right or wrong choice, okay? If you like fire, go fire. You like lightning, go lightning. You like ice, go ice. She can use either one of them and do a massive amount of damage. But she's what you would call a glass cannon. So, with that said, yeah, she's gonna fuck shit up real easily. But she's gonna get fucked up real easily. So, that's something to note. Even if you have the best gear in the game, it's still easy for you to die as a sorceress. So, it is what it is. Now, there are ways to make yourself more tanky, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to tell you from a newcomer perspective that she might not be the best to roll first, simply because of that. But again, if you're a returning player and you played a shit ton of sorceress and you know that playstyle, you know how to utilize her kit and get in, get out, and you're not afraid of the immunities in hell, because that's something to understand. If you go all fire and you're in hell, there's a lot of mobs are gonna be immune, and if it says immune to fire, I mean, you just have to pretty much evade that mob. Now there are ways around it. Okay, well, I'm not gonna talk too much about mercenaries and how to bring lower immunities, because that's not what this video is for. This video is for helping people pick your starter. But she is probably the best. Well, I wouldn't say the best, but well, yeah, I'd say she's the best simply because she's the best magic finder, in my opinion. And so she's really something, in my opinion, that you would roll to kind of, build up your other characters. But again, you can definitely build her up, and yeah, she's great damage, but she's a wet toilet tissue doll. You're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna think you're bad at the game, and it's not you. It's just she dies just that quickly. So if you do go sorceress, just understand there's gonna be some frustrating moments, but she's got the damage. Now it's the old Druid, last but not least. So he's kind of in the same boat with the Assassin. They came out together in Lord of Destruction expansion. Uh, he can go melee or he can go caster. He goes a melee through shape shifting, and caster he does like tornadoes. Okay. And now I had a caster. I never played shapeshifter. I've never cared for shapeshifting in any game. So for me, it just wasn't even anything I was interested in. I was interested in the Druid, period. But I had a bet with a friend, and long story short, I leveled one up. I geared one. I PvP'd with this guy. I won the bet, and then I never touched him again. But what I can remember of them was I did go elemental. I went tornado, and it's a simple play style. It's mm, it's simple. It works. It's not a sorceress again. His elemental was not no sorceress. His melee wasn't no paladin or no barbarian. But his kit was unique in that regard, that you could shapeshift, blah blah blah. He may, if that's again, just like a trap. If you love traps, you'd want, you definitely want to go assassin over, say, the sorceress or the Amazon. So again, if you like shapeshifting and you like melee, well then he might be the one you want to roll with instead of the paladin or the barbarian. He didn't seem to struggle in anything, but he just didn't excel more so than the rest of them in any other categories either. So he is a good option for starting out new players. I can't remember his kit too much. Like I said, I didn't. I probably have less time on him than any other character. And when I say less time, I mean I probably have half the time on him as I do the assassin, and I probably have less time on the assassin than I do the necromancer. And the necromancer was my most hated character, and I'm gonna talk about that now. So he is a good option. He definitely won't be my first, but he's a good option. Because he does get better with better gear, and he started out. That's the only thing if I recall correctly, he wasn't strong without good gear, and I don't think he was really strong with the good gear. To be honest with you, I just felt like he was just kind of in the middle. He wasn't good, he just wasn't bad. But going back to the Paladin, like I said, I played Hammerden a lot. And the only one that gave me trouble was this goddamn Necromancer in PvP. Alright, because I ran Enigma on my Hammerden. Okay. And so I could teleport. Hammerdens want to be in the middle. All Paladins want to be in the middle of the thing. So, like, if there's a pack of mobs, you want to be in the middle of that son bitch. If you're going to PvP, you're going to want to teleport to your target and start throwing your hammers. It's a caster setup, but it's still melee range. I'll put it to you that way. Um, and if you had a necromancer with Enigma and you was teleporting around, throwing your little bone spear at me, running away from me like a little bitch, you would probably get lucky and kill me every now and again. I beat Necros 90% of the time. Unfortunately, 10% of the time they get lucky. Okay, it's all luck. You never beat me with skill, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. But with that said, my first character was originally going to be a Barbarian. But playing around on the beta has opened my eyes to just how badly I want to go zeal. And that's weird. I really thought that I would go Hammerden, but then again, we still got a month to go, so it might change. But for right now, my starting character will be a zeal Paladin, which is the strongest melee setup in the game. He's very beginner friendly. He's pretty much a face roll once you get all the good gear. I mean, nothing in the game can stop you at that point. Yeah, his kit's ridiculous. Like I said, you can max out block, and that will pretty much save your life in a lot of situations. He's got good resistances, good auras. It's like I said, his kit is just ridiculous. And so it's both beginner friendly and even in the late game when you have the best gear set up and shit, it's nothing but a face roll. And so I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. Like I said, again, the Amazon is hands down probably the best boss killer in the game, but unfortunately to really just set her up, if I remember correctly, you needed real good gear. You needed good gear for you and your mercenary. Could be a little off, could be a little misleading, but if I remember correctly, it was, you did need that gear. Even without the gear though, make no mistake, I'm not saying she only does good damage with gear. No. So do like that one shot, two shot potential on a boss, that was with the gear. Now, just running around, you know, killing shit, well, she was always a very strong, viable option, and she's pretty forward playstyle. Nothing complicated, just like the assassin. The assassin, I mean, straight up nothing complicated about her, especially if you run traps. Like I said, you run your lightning traps, and I think you can throw 4 of them out at a time. As far as like mob density and like running around, it's almost, by the time you get the 4th one out, pretty much everything's almost dead anyway. A lot, but if you was like say fighting a boss, you'd want to throw your 4 lightning traps out, then you want to throw your static lightning out, which is another trap, and then I want to say after that you start spamming your fire traps. Okay, again, like I said, I didn't have a lot of time with her, but if I recall correctly, that's how you did it. And again, for me, my taste, that just wasn't fun. But again, she's a very strong character. Probably the best one to start with, to be honest with you, because of the fact that you can just throw traps. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to even have any courage at all. You can throw a trap and be like, oh my god, run away, and your trap will kill the monster, and so there you go. You just come back and loot the body whenever you're brave enough, I guess. So she might just be the best starting character. I don't know. Again, if that's the playstyle you like, go for. Necromancer, like I said, you really want to understand how to CC characters. You want to understand your kit before you start playing him. But he is a very strong character, and well, fuck you, Bone Spear. But he's a strong character nonetheless. But he to me isn't so beginner friendly. So if you haven't played D2, he probably isn't your best option. Again, Barbarian, probably the most beginner friendly character in D2. And him or the Paladin, they're both kind of neck and neck with the ease of use. This guy is just, he's a barbarian, dude. He's strong as hell, right? And I mean, they did him justice on D2. He's got natural resistances, iron skin, very beginner friendly. You just won't have too much of a hard time playing him, so very viable option. Again, same thing. His kit is very beginner friendly. He has a lot of defenses. He has Holy Shield, which allows you to max your block very easily. Okay, you don't have to have the best gear to do it. And with that said, I mean, his kit is easy to work with. So very strong, viable option for a new player and someone coming back. Sorceress. Like I said, she's a glass cannon, man. My friend, who he and I should be playing together. He said he was gonna run Sorceress, so that's gonna be interesting to see what route he goes with her. So, just saying, like I said, she's a glass cannon. She's paper when it comes to getting hit. But my friend said he's gonna roll with her. So just because she can't take a hit does not mean she's not a viable option, because I already know he's gonna fucking tear some shit up with her, and so that's why I'm interested in seeing what he does. I haven't asked him which element he was going to run yet, but I guess we'll see. So she is a viable option. Just understand that you're definitely not a tank on this chick. Well, like I said, there's ways around it, but I'm not, for the sake of this video. And the Druid, again, just say, if you're looking for like a balanced character, kind of do-it-all character, you don't want to feel the pressure of maybe having Whirlwind or Zeal having to, you know, put out this massive amount of damage because of their history, their, you know, what have you. Maybe you just want a more relaxed playstyle, gets the job done. Maybe you like shape shifting. Maybe you just like looking at tornadoes. The Druid is definitely a good option. Again, he ain't the best in anything, but he's definitely not the worst at anything either. He's just a solid character all around, and would be a great option to start with, I think. But yeah, so I'm not gonna say anything bad about the Druid. That's my opinion on every character, guys. As I said, I will be running the Paladin. The plan for now is go to Zeal but we'll see. By the time it drops next month, I might actually be a damn hammer then again. Who knows? But anyways, I hope this helps you guys pick your first character. Leave a comment, guys. Let me know what your first character is gonna be, because I just want to know what the community is gonna do. Like, yeah, are we gonna see a shit ton of barbarians and paladins? Or maybe a shit ton of sorcerers. That's what I'm interested in, man, because she was so known for the magic find, bro. Like, everybody has a magic find sorceress. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you have two characters, one of them is a magic find sorceress. I swear to God. So that's gonna be real interesting to see, just like what characters get the most playtime starting out in the first couple months of D2R. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope maybe this helped a newcomer. Hopefully you guys got to see this video. I'm not very popular on YouTube, but hopefully that you came across this before the game came out and maybe it helped you make a decision. Uh, but yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.